Let's create a load balancer. And what load balancer do actually inside the virtual network that we created, when we have more than resource, the load balancer will receive all the traffic from outside and distribute it in a way that to avoid overloading, or if one of these resources is down, then to give the end user better experience by connecting faster to the healthy resource. So here we have a web server, but we're going to create a load balancer, and it should be in networking. Then should find it here, load balancer, and maybe I don't see it. So I'm just going to search for it. So I'm going to type load balancer. Okay, I see it here now. And now let's create a new load balancer. Now using the free trailer again, resource group, AZ Learning Path, Microsoft. I think we were using AZ Lab, Azure Lab. That's what we use in our video series. So I'm going to use AZ Lab again. And then the name, I'm going to call it load balancer easy 900 West Europe. I keep it like this. And now there is a public and internal load balancer. The difference is public load balancer deal with the outside the virtual network communication, while the internal is used for communication between resources. In some cases, like we need to have load balancer if we have, for example, more than back-end server and more than front-end server, and then we can put between them a load balancer to distribute when one back-end server is busy, so we can use the other one. So but for now we will use the public load balancer. I will use basic or standard, take the standard, and then here let's create a new public IP address name. So I think this address is like the IP address that we will give to the end user to communicate with our server. So they will not connect to the web server directly, they will connect to the IP address of the load balancer public IP address, or it's fine like this. And then IP address assignment should be static, or it is. Availability zone, in West Europe we have more than one availability zone, so I will not choose any specific, I will use zone redundant. And then that's IP version 4 is not 6, so let's go to next. Here I will give it a name, load balancer easy 900. Tag, I will give it a tag of easy 900 exactly. Now next, review and create. Validation passed, good, and then we can create. Now here is creating deployment in progress. It doesn't take much time to create this load balancer. So I think now it's created here, I can see it, but there not yet. So I'll try to click and go to resource. And now here is our load balancer. Then for load balancer, we need we have a public IP address that we will give to communication. We need to give it backend pool. So backend pools is, let's create a new one. And here, backend, like say, load balancer backend pool. virtual network, we will use our virtual network easy 900 easy lab, and then IP version 4, nothing else to change. Now deployment, need to do the validation first, and now it's created. Okay, and health probes, let's create a new one. Health probe is like it check if the load balancer up and running. I'll call it health probe load balancer. We'll use TCP ID, IB, TCP protocol. Now we'll use the air. So we'll use the port 80 to communicate with this server, and then interval 5 seconds between every attempt. To failure, it means our server is busy or failed. So it will go to the next server. So now, so we created backend pod. So here it will connect to our web server in the back end, like in this virtual network, and then here to check the health, and then let's create a load balancer rule. So the rule is, let's call it load balancer rule, IP version 4, and then this is our IP address, TCP. We'll use this port to communicate with our resources, and the backend pool that we already create, and the health probe we already create. Resistance session, we'll leave it as none, and I think it's enough. We'll leave the rest as a default. So here we're creating also a load balancing rule. Now we have backend, like we have for notification, all of them green, it means all of them created. So right now we don't have any virtual machine, and is used by load balancer, the whole probe. So here it is our load balancer, and we have load balancing rule. Yeah, for next video we're going to create another virtual, like another web server, and put it both in this load balancer and see how this load balancer will work. We have only one rule here, we just created together. Okay, thanks.